Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Katrina and this is Create Something Pretty. Today I am going to be showing you what I have purchased in the Black Friday sales. I did pick up quite a few patterns and I also bought some fabric that it wasn't on sale, but it was a very new exclusive fabric that I really didn't want to miss out on. And I also finished my dress that I was working on I spoke about it in my last video. So I'm going to show you all that today. And I'm also going to be doing maybe a second video to talk about the advent calendar, the Kylie and Machine advent calendar that I'm opening. I have already recorded this video previously and it was just very long, so I decided that I'll keep the Christmassy thing to a separate video and maybe release it on a Monday or a Wednesday. So please keep an eye out for that. I will add that onto my Instagram so you can tell when those videos are out. And yeah, so I'm going to get going with this video and show you everything that I purchased. So let's get going with what I purchased in the Black Friday sales. There are quite a few patterns here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think there's 6. There's one actually here that isn't for Black Friday, but I'm going to tell you about that as well. But actually maybe I'll show you that first. Let's get into that straight away. So last month I was scrolling through Instagram and I came across the Closet Core crew dress that was out, and it was absolutely stunning. It really struck me as something that I would love and I did not want to miss out on it. So I did join the Closet Core crew for 1 month. I didn't actually cancel it, so I'm actually able to get this month's pattern. I'm not sure if it's totally for me, but I'm still yet to get time to really go back and have a proper look at that one. So the one that I did pick up is this gorgeous dress. I absolutely love it. I've just printed out my PDF, the Sewciety dress, and I just think this is so stylish and such a pretty dress. It's really a long maxi length dress with those beautiful sleeves, the shortest sleeves, and I love it how it has the little gathers along the waistline here and this beautiful neckline. It does have a second option to have a belt with a tie at the back. For my personal taste, I think I would go with this view because I think that would be the best look on me and my figure. So I really loved it. I didn't want to miss out, so I did go and join up the Closet Core crew. I do find whenever I make Closet Core patterns that they really end up being something that I wear a lot. So I have made the NYX dress in the past. I love their what's it called, Cielo top. I always say the name of that wrong, so I think I got it right this time. And I don't know what else I've made of theirs, but I have a few of their patterns. Oh no, the Jenna, I wear that shirt quite often. Yeah, I just really like their patterns. Are just really well designed and I find they're something that I really like to wear. So I thought it was worthwhile having a go at their Closet Core crew membership. So we'll see how that goes. I can cancel that at any time, so we'll see how we go. So the first pattern that I actually bought in the Black Friday sales was a dress pattern, and it's actually more like a closet sort of pattern. It has a top, a skirt and a dress option, and it was the one that I was talking about in my last video, is the Haze dress by Choco Notch. So I wanted to get this because in the samples it's made in a cotton rather than a rayon, and I use a lot of rayons, and I really want to just experiment a bit more with other fabrics because I've gotten so used to using rayons. I think it's time that I expand my experience to other fabrics and just work out what looks good on me in the more structured fabrics. So that's why I picked this one, plus I just really liked the top of it. It's really nice. I also did find a dress in a ready-to-wear store that was very similar. It had the shape, it wasn't exactly the same as this, but it had the cap sleeve, it had that sort of keyhole opening, and it had a very similar skirt and the waist ties, so it was very much like this one. I'll put some pictures up so that you can see what it looks like, all the views. There is an option with this to have a little opening at the back just above the waistline, so that little cutout sort of section that some patterns have. I would very much consider doing that. I think it's really subtle the way they've done it. It's really nice. But I do particularly like the top. I would like to make the top version. I would probably lengthen it for my liking. But yeah, I just think that would be a really nice one to experiment with linens and cottons, and I have a load of those in my wardrobe that I really want to get used and make them into something. So I picked that one up. It was the first one that I purchased in the Black Friday sale. So that was the Haze dress by Chalk and Notch, and they always have a really good size range and cup sizes, and yeah, I like their patterns quite a bit. The next pattern that I picked up, I sort of didn't really mean to buy. And what I mean by that is it was a US based pattern, and I sometimes will go through the process so far as to figure out what it is in Australian dollars without having to do it online, go to all that effort. And if I don't want to do it, I'll just cancel the sale. And I got to the point of almost being able to see that screen, and my computer glitched and it just went through, so I didn't actually get to see how much it was. Luckily it wasn't too much. It was actually quite a reasonable price that I would normally pay for a pattern anyway. And so I end up getting this one from So Liberated, and this is the Greenbrier. I'm really not sure if I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, so this is a really nice little dress. I was actually looking at it because it does look like another ready to wear dress that I've seen. The dress that I saw that was ready to wear, it had sort of the grown on sort of sleeve and the bib section at the center front, and the sleeves was joined on with a real gathering all the way down the side of that bib section, and this is really pretty. It was made in a really soft floaty looking rayon with very colourful, just really tastefully done. That is sort of what I'm hoping to do with this one. The ready to wear also had a longer tiered skirt on it, so I may swap this one out or just add some tiers to it. So this one is very similar to that. It has that bib section. I'll just put photos in because the picture on this is really not very easy to show on film. So this has an option of either having buttons at the center front with that little opening, and it has that bib section. It also has an option to have that just sewn shut and then tied, so you don't have to worry about doing buttons. The skirt is just a simple gathered skirt. It looks quite easy, and it has that sort of grown on sort of sleeve style that's just joined onto the bib. There's also an option to have a binding at that sleeve. So I just thought I'd just grab that one. It looks really gorgeous in the photos. Yeah, I would really like to have a go at making it to try and match the dress that I saw. There are a couple of ready to wear dresses out there at the moment that I think are really nice. I'm sort of trying to find a pattern that matches so that I can maybe make that myself and make it fit my proportions a lot better. So that is the Greenbrier dress by So Liberated. So the next pattern that I decided to get was very similar in the front as what the Haze dress was. It still has that sort of keyhole opening and the neckline as well, and I seem to be really drawn to that. So I picked up this pattern, which is the Vicos top by Chalk and Notch. Now this, the dress that she's wearing on the cover, you can do a dress version as well, but I actually don't, I don't really seem to like that one very much. It could be the fabric. I think if it was in a different fabric, I might like it a little bit more, but the top version I really like. That's why I bought it. I'll put some pictures up so you can see what I'm talking about. So there is a sample of that done in a yellow, it looks like a viscose or something quite soft and drapey. I like that version. I really like the cuffs on that in particular. That sleeve with that top I think is so pretty. I also like just a plain short sleeve, but then there's some other sleeve options as well. There's one that's rolled up and has a little tab on the sleeve so that you can button up and keep those sleeves other way, and then there's the simple finished sleeve as well. So yeah, I picked that one up, and just having a nice simple top pattern is a really good one to have a nice easy sew hopefully. And I also like this as well because it does have it does finish at the shoulder rather than having like a grown on or like a raglan sleeve. and I think that suits my shape a whole lot better. So that is why I grabbed that one. I'm so glad I grabbed it because I was looking at it in their last sale and I didn't get it, and I've just been thinking about it ever since. There is one other Itch to Stitch pattern that I bought that I was also looking in the last sale. I was looking at it in the last sale, and it was I think it's called the Seychelles. I haven't actually printed that one off because I did buy it very, very last minute. I was watching New Zealand Stitch Bird, and who I talked about in my last week's video, and she had made a version of that as well, and it just reminded me, oh, I really did want that top. So I went back and got it while it was on sale, and there was like 4 minutes left in the sale that I had to get it. So I kind of feel a bit naughty that I did that. I think that I had already bought enough at that stage. So I'm so glad I've got that. So I'm actually looking forward to going and printing that out and having a bit more of a look at that pattern. The next patterns that I purchased were because they're from Wardrobe by Me, and Wardrobe by Me, yes, that's what it's called, and I always hear Kristen from the Dahlia Society talking about them on her video, how much she likes them, and I have not tried them yet, so I really wanted to give them a go. So I picked up a nice easy blouse pattern just to start off with. I got the Esther blouse, and this has a slight it's like a little pleat. I'm short of words lately. It has a little pleating detail on this one. It has a little pleating detail. This is a little gathering at the center front, and I like that it is also finished on the shoulder rather than being a raglan or a drop sleeve. So I just think that it suits my shape a bit better. I like that it's simple. It would suit my lifestyle because I really don't do a lot of dressy things. Going to the shops or going to the movies, that's about as exciting as my life gets at the moment, at this stage of life. And it also has the option to have a tail at the back or just a straight cut. So nice easy pattern to start off with. And I thought while they're on sale, because I do find these patterns, they do have a slightly higher price point once they're in Australian dollars. So it sort of put me off. So I just thought, well, I'll just wait till they've got a sale, because I do like the way they look. They just look like really nice patterns that are worth trying. I have been looking at this pattern for a long time, several years actually, so I'm hoping this doesn't actually look dated, but I guess depending on what fabric I use, it will make it look a bit dressier and more today. I picked up the Freedom dress because I just love the pictures that they had on their website. There was one there that was patterned and had quite a floral design. There was quite a lot of tears on it as well. I really love that. It has a couple of sleeve options as well. It also has that sort of rolled up sleeve or a straight sleeve, and then it has these puffy sleeves. I think I like the puffy sleeve, and it has an option to have a little like a bow at the neck or button up. I think I would just do this button up version, and then you've got the different lengths, so it has quite a few options in it. So I'm really looking forward to trying that one. I have been eyeing that off for quite a while, so hopefully I can get a bit more sewing time and actually get a chance to sew it up. So that's all the patterns I purchased. So that was pretty good, though I have purchased a few patterns over the last few weeks. I did pick up some from Forget Me Not Patterns. They were closing down and they had all their patterns half price, so I did grab a couple of them. I grabbed their tote bag pattern, which I'll put a picture up. I can't remember the name, so I'll have to put them on the screen. And I also picked up the blouse with the little collar. I'll also put that one on the screen. So I've bought quite a few lately, so I'm feeling a little bit guilty. And I have also bought some fabric, so I'm going to show that to you next. Recently, Maaidesign had a new lot of fabric come onto the website just in time for the Black Friday sales. However, it wasn't on sale, it was just like a new release. And the designer this is by is, I've always loved her designs, and every time they come out I miss out. So this time I wanted to make sure I got hold of some, even though it really wasn't in the budget. This is by Gabrielle Larios, and I'm so happy to get hold of this. I did get the cotton lawn. I would have loved to get the linen, but it's just a little bit higher price point and I shouldn't have been getting it as it is. So I did grab this one. This is, I think that's upside down actually. Yes it is. So I grabbed this one. This is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure of the name of it actually. I don't know if it has a name. I think it actually does have a name. If it does, I'll put it on the screen. So this is the lawn that I picked up, and it's beautiful and soft. a little bit wrinkled because it has been, I've gotten it unpacked and all sorted, and then I've had to do a whole lot of other things for Christmas, and it has been put to the side very quickly. So it's got a few wrinkles. I've tried to give it a quick iron, but I haven't washed it yet, so I'm trying to be careful that I don't iron anything into it that I haven't actually washed out just yet. So it's so pretty. I'm hoping you're getting a good look at it there. It's a little bit dull outside today. We had a very hot day yesterday, and it is a bit duller today. Still a little bit on the warm side. So yeah, that is what I picked up. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Love this fabric. I'm not sure what I'm going to make out of it. I grabbed 2 meters of it because I think that's a good length. I might have grabbed a 1.75 meters. I think I was planning to make a top, or maybe even one of those haze dress tops. I'm not really sure what I had in mind. I really got to start writing these things down. So that's what I purchased. Last week you may notice I had a video about sewing vloggers in Australia, small channel sewing vloggers, and I mentioned a whole lot of Victorian and Australian vloggers, and I'll link that video down below. I have 2 more to add to that list. You may have heard of them, you may not, so definitely wanted to mention these ladies. One is Sarah from Sarah Sews, and she has a really lovely channel. She knits and she sews and she shows a little bit of daily life, and I do love that about her. She has to me it comes across as a very intentional sewing style, unlike myself, who I just make whatever I feel like, and I really love that she does sew that way. I feel like things seem to go with things. They're made for a reason, not just because she likes them. That's how it comes across to me, at least. But I really do enjoy her channel. I find her very inspirational, so please go check out her channel. I do believe she is actually doing Vlogmas, because I've been watching her. It's been really good. And I've also wanted to mention Emma from Emke Sews. She is a fairly new YouTuber, and she is in Australia, in Melbourne, and I have actually met her. I mentioned her several times on this channel as well, so please go check out her channel as well and support our Aussie vloggers, because there was just none for so long, and now we have all these wonderful vloggers. So we'll keep them going and support them just by watching their channels and liking and subscribing, all those things. So yeah, I'm sure they would really appreciate that. So next I wanted to tell you about what I got using my voucher from the Dahlia Society. In August, I was very, very lucky to get a voucher for the Dahlia Society. Absolutely thrilled with that gift, and I had in mind that I wanted to get maybe a pattern and all the things to make the garment up with from that pattern. However, Kristen had her sale, and she had her Black Friday sale, and everything was 20% off, and I was just holding out to try and get a particular piece of fabric that really caught my eye, but it kind of didn't happen. There's a few things I really did like, and I decided, because it was 20% off, I was gonna get it. I was gonna do it. I couldn't wait any longer. So what I picked up was some beautiful buttons by Pigeon Wishes. I absolutely love Pigeon Wishes buttons, and I really need to make an effort to use them a bit more, because I have quite a few and I have not used any of them just yet. These ones are fairy, and I believe they're 15mm buttons, so they're good for shirts and dresses and things. So really, really pretty. I love the colors in those. And I also picked up a pattern, and I really buy paper patterns, so to me this is really, really special. And this is my first ever Mason fauve pattern, and I chose this one, and this is the Chelsea blouse. It has those beautiful pin-tucking details in the front, and this is a little keyhole opening here, and it has the same detail on the shoulders, and there is this plain on the back, and it has the cuff as well with a little button, or is it down here on the sleeve. So I just thought that this would suit my lifestyle. There were a lot to choose from, but whatever I picked, I just wanted it to be something that I would actually get wear out of. That was the most important thing to me. Now the fabric that I purchased isn't necessarily to make this one. I decided when I was on there that I don't get an opportunity like this very often to choose a fair like a decent amount of fabric to actually buy something. So what I did was I just bought extra fabric with the money, and I put some of my money in there as well. So I got a really good gift in the end. So this is the fabric I chose. I've been eyeing this off for quite a while. I was a little unsure. I wasn't sure if it would be something that I would wear every day, but at the same time I couldn't stop looking at it. I wanted to get the one that I really liked. So this is Atelier Jupe. I don't know if the fabric has a name, but it has all these beautiful pink and purpley sort of flowers. It's very, very me. On the dark background, I love this sort of style. It's just so pretty. Love my pinks, I love my blacks, and all those sort of those colors in there with it. It's just so pretty. Absolutely love it. Hopefully you can see that there and you can hear me. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. So that is what I picked up with my money. I got 3.5 meters, which is quite a bit considering yeah, this is a little bit more than what I normally pay for fabric. So yeah, I was really, really wrapped with that. It was a really nice thing to get in the mail. Since then, after I bought this, Kristen got in some new fabric. So there's a really good chance I'll have a parcel coming in the next few days, which I'm actually really excited to get hold of. I had when you go to Frock Tales, I went to Frock Tales just last month, and you get a 20% off voucher in the gift bags. I do have a video on that as well, which I'll probably link that below as well. And I end up using my Dahlia Society 20% off little gift card in there as well to purchase that fabric. So I have been very naughty lately, I've got to say. So I have one last thing to show you, and that is a dress that I have been working on. It is slightly off screen. I'll just move it. Okay. So this is the dress that I have been working on. This is the Closet Core Brise dress, and I'll put a picture up so you can see me wearing it. It doesn't really look like the pattern anymore, I have to say. I made it up and I had the tie detail, and I just found every time I tied that up, it actually just pulled against my hip in a very I didn't like it. It didn't look good. So I just tried several different things to see if I could make it sit better and change. I unpicked and gave it more room and brought it I brought it in more at the top and let it out more at the hip, and it still didn't work with that tie. So in the end, what I decided to do was to cut it out completely. So I cut the bodice, I cut it across the top and then across the bottom of that tie section. So now there's a center join between the bodice and the skirt, and I still felt that I wasn't likely, if I'm in a hurry, just to grab a belt and throw on. So I wanted there to be a belt on it just to cover that join, because it just didn't look great. So it was joined really well despite that, but I ended up making my own little tie on the side here. So I've sewn it into the sides. It's not around the back at all. It's not on the back. It's just on, comes in from the side here, and there's a little short belt here and then a longer one. So I've just managed to, I tried it on like so many times to try and get it right and make sure it wasn't pulling. And I've actually sewn it down in several places across the dress so that it doesn't actually, it can't pull on that one spot that I didn't like. So other than that, I did actually shorten it just to take out some of the weight, because it's just really heavy in this fabric. And I think I took 1 inch off the sleeves, made them slightly shorter as well. But I have done the best job on my cover stitch machine. I'm so happy with it. I'm still learning how to use it. I don't use knits enough to really have mastered it yet, but every time I do, it is so satisfying. So my cover stitching job, I originally sewed up the sleeve cuffs and it was too tight, so it actually really gave me an opportunity to play with the tension and try and work out how that worked and get it so that the sleeve would stretch nicely, and I'm so happy with it. I've sort of worked out to use a really long basting stitch and baste the seams where I want them to be, and then use that basting stitch as my guide as to where to cover stitch, because when you're cover stitching, you cover stitch from the right side and you can't see where you're stitching on the wrong side, so you don't actually know if you're catching the seam. And doing that has actually really made it easy for me. So I have used it all around the neckline, I've used it on both the sleeves, and I've used it on the hem, and there's been no waving, and this is a very slinky, I think it's a jersey rayon viscose of some sort, so it's very slinky fabric. So it's, yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think it's come out really nicely. I don't mind this fabric at all, even though it was a quite inexpensive fabric from Spotlight. So yeah, that is everything that I have for you today. So I'm going to put in my Kylie and the Machine event calendar openings in a second video, along with any Christmassy stuff as well, so they might be short, because I did try and film and it was a very long video. So keep an eye out for that video, probably midweek, early week to midweek it'll probably be, and then I'll keep trying to post my normal videos on a Friday. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my fabric, my patterns, the dress that I finished, and hearing how much I've been splurging lately, and I probably shouldn't be. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that today. Thank you so much for watching. I'd really appreciate that you'll join me and taking the time to find my channel. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and hit the icon bell so that you know when my videos are out, especially amongst all of these Vlogmas videos, which I've got to say I am really enjoying. And please go check out Sarah and Emma's videos as well. Please support our small channels, make sure they keep going. I hope you're all having a good week and looking after yourselves. Don't forget to look after yourselves, because it is really easy to get lost in the Christmas rush. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye. Would you like to see my Christmas tree? Let's go see the Christmas trees. I'll open up my advent calendar. So this is my advent calendar. I've opened up day one earlier in the video.